Good?
Now that they turned on the interview, I mean the
Are
music,
you ready? Can you hear now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. What is one thing you wish you would have learned in college?
Why I went there.
What is the biggest mistake you've made since graduating from college?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay. Do you have a renting nightmare?
Pardon me?
Do you have a renting nightmare, like renting an apartment?
No, I got out of college. I own buildings.
All right, Barney owns buildings. Do you have a crazy tale from a job that you've worked at that is hard to believe even happened now?
I walked into AT&T with a room full of wires. I says, I'll never do this. And I ran the Gold Coast.
Do you look at any of your friends and wonder how they graduated from college?
There's a lot of deceased. Yeah.
If you have a graduating senior one piece of advice on their graduation day, what would it be?
Don't show up.
Okay. What is the one thing that most scared you about the real world when you graduated from college?
I didn't. Yeah, I did. I graduated with honors, and I'll tell you what, it got me nowhere.
What are some ways that you're furthering your personal development?
My personal development, I find you attractive.
Okay, Barney. Tell me who you are and what you do.
This is not a joke. You're making a joke out of this whole thing. Microphones, cameras. What are you laughing about? You're supposed to be serious about this.
Okay, that was a good answer. Okay, Barney, tell me who you are and what you do in 30 seconds or less.
Nothing. Nothing. I do nothing.
All right, Demar. Define what a personal brand is.
I guess a personal brand's kind of the image that you give off to the world, what you're trying to convey with how you dress, how you talk, how you act, what you want people to take away as a lasting impression of you. Thanks.
List 3 attributes you'd like others to use to describe you in your professional life.
I guess I want people to know that I'm smart. I want people to look at me and think that I'm funny too. And I guess mostly I want people to know that I'm gonna be able to get the job done, whatever that job is.
And what about the 3 attributes you'd most like others to use to describe you in your personal life?
Personal life, funny goes to number 1. Snazzy dresser. I guess generally just friendly. Somebody people can talk to.
Tell
Sexy.
me who you are and what you do in 30 seconds or less.
I'm a lawyer, so I screw people over and I get as much money as possible. I'm a lawyer, but I try to look out for other people's human rights and protect the world that way.
You do that tomorrow. Alright, do you work with anyone that is a lot older or younger than you?
I did, yeah. In my first job here in the city, there were quite a few people that were about my age, and then there was a huge gap up to the people that were much, much older than us that had been practicing for like 20, 30 years.
And what is one thing that you wish that they would understand about your generation?
I think our generation quotes a lot of things that I don't think an older generation will necessarily get. So I think our general way of communicating to each other tends to rely a lot on pop culture ideas, and that made it really difficult sometimes to communicate with older folks.
Can you give me an example?
Probably 75% of the stuff I say when I'm not on camera is from The Simpsons, and I don't think most people that I worked with really understood what I was talking about half the time. especially when I call them Marge.
Okay. What is your definition of hard work?
I think hard work is probably more than the number of hours you put in, but I think it's the quality of time you put in. So, I'm willing to say that somebody that works 6 hours a day works harder than someone that works 12 hours a day if, those 6 hours aren't spent on Facebook or something like that.
And describe the typical baby boomer in your terms, what you see of them.
Besides sucking our country's Social Security dry. Just kidding. No, I guess typical baby boomers, somebody that's a little bit older, somebody that would maybe eye retirement if that was viable at this point for them. And I think someone that generally just has a different take on, how America's society and politics works than I do.
Okay. What did you know about personal finances when you graduated from college?
I knew what a savings account was, and that was about it. Yeah, I honestly did not even know how to use the checking account. I certainly didn't know anything about, retirement accounts or, anything of the kind. So yeah.
What do you wish you would have known about personal finances when you graduated from college?
Yeah, all that stuff, basically. Especially the retirement account thing. I remember sitting through the orientation for my first day at work, and they're explaining all this stuff, about IRAs and 401ks, and I was just like, wow, that's fantastic. I'll click whatever the default box is. So.
What is one thing you wish you would have learned in college? It could be anything.
I guess, in light of what we're talking about now, I really wish I had known more about healthcare plans. I worked a little bit on healthcare stuff for, low-income people in college, and I realized in retrospect that I didn't know very much about what I was talking about, and so that would have been nice.
Okay. What is the biggest mistake you've made since graduating from college?
Right here. Just kidding. Just kidding, honey. Besides that, which is not a mistake at all, I guess everything I've done financially has probably been wrong. I set up an IRA finally, and it lost 10% of its value in 4 days. So I'm pretty sure I don't know what I'm doing yet. So anything that has to do with my personal finances was wrong.
Do you have a renting nightmare?
Oh my God. The first place I moved into in Chicago, I ended up moving out after suing my landlord successfully. But I hadn't yet learned about landlord-tenant law, and that would have been relevant at the time, but basically they screwed us over, a real jerk of a guy. But had I known how to handle that better, I don't think we would have ended up in a lawsuit. I think it would have been, much nicer.
Do you have a crazy tale from corporate America that is hard to believe even happened?
I was thinking about this a little bit today, that there was this person I was in charge of kind of hiring in my first job here in the city, and I'm pretty sure that I told her I wasn't going to hire her, but I don't think she got the message, and then she showed up to work, and we said we didn't hire you, and there was kind of a big deal, and so I had to go through and find all this evidence that was like, no, you're crazy, I didn't hire you. I think it would have been a lot easier had I made a better record of what I was doing.
Good. Friends and wonder how they graduated from college.
I'm looking at one right now. I look at half of my friends and wonder how they graduated from college, and we went to a good college. I think the fact that I know so many people that apparently have important jobs or high-paying jobs or have contributed to society and have no ability to communicate themselves. They stutter when they talk, they use a lot of knows and ums, and generally just sound like idiots and talk with their hands. Always makes me wonder.
If you could give a